Today, we're diving into a technology that could fundamentally rewrite the rules of power generation. It's from Terzion, it's called Martech, and it promises something pretty radical: fuel-less, uninterrupted energy.
You know, this whole topic really just boils down to one core question. In a world that's built on energy limits, is it actually possible to have power that's constant, that's fuel-free, and that's strategically independent?
To see why a new solution is so desperately needed, we first have to understand the problem. Right now, we are caught in what you could call the energy paradox, a real conflict between the power we have and the power we actually need.
I mean, think about it. On one hand, you've got renewables like solar and wind. They're clean, which is great, but they're intermittent. The sun doesn't always shine and the wind doesn't always blow, right? Then on the other hand, you have diesel generators. They're reliable, sure, but they come with huge fuel costs and, even more critically, a vulnerable and expensive supply chain. This is the gap that needs to be filled.
And this is the exact gap Martech technology was designed to bridge. It's a mechatronic power plant built for one purpose: to give you 24/7 fuel-free power, no matter what the weather is doing. Imagine having the rock-solid reliability of a diesel generator, but with the clean, cost-free operation of renewables.
So the big question, how does it actually work? Well, this isn't magic. It's a very precisely engineered system that leverages kinetic energy and some serious mechanical advantage. The process has 4 distinct stages. It starts with a simple battery bank that kicks a motor into action. That motor spins up a massive dual flywheel system, storing an incredible amount of kinetic energy. You can think of it as a mechanical battery. Then, that amplified force drives an alternator, which generates electricity. Some of that power feeds back into the system, creating a closed loop, while the rest is ready for you to use. But the real key to making this whole thing work is step 3, amplification.
Okay, this is the secret sauce, the 2-to-1 reducer. This thing is the absolute heart of the machine. It basically acts like a gearbox, trading the flywheel's high speed for a massive 4 times increase in torque, or raw turning force. That immense torque is what gives the alternator the muscle to overcome any electrical load instantly. It's just like a cyclist shifting to a lower gear to power up a steep hill. They sacrifice speed for the mechanical power they need to do the heavy lifting.
And let's be crystal clear about something. This is not a perpetual motion machine. This isn't science fiction. It's an engineered system of mechanical advantage and incredibly high efficiency that operates completely within the first law of thermodynamics.
Theory is one thing, but proof? Proof is everything. So now, let's look at the hard evidence from independent, third-party validation that takes this from a concept to a proven reality.
Credibility in this field is paramount, so the Martech system was subjected to some really rigorous testing by 2 highly respected Danish institutions, the Danish Technological University's Science Park and the Danish Technological Institute.
And if there's one number you take away from all of this, let it be this one: 52 volts. This single data point is the definitive proof, the smoking gun, that the system works exactly as advertised.
So during the official tests, the load was cranked up, step by step, from 100 kilowatts all the way up to a full megawatt. And as you can see from the data, at every single stage, the starting battery's voltage held perfectly stable at 52 volts. This is huge. It confirms the system was powering both the load and itself without draining its own battery. It's self-sustaining.
So the technology is proven, that's clear. But what about the financial case? For any investor or public official, the real question is, does it make economic sense? Let's look at a real-world market comparison. In places where diesel power costs around 35 cents per kilowatt hour, Martech's production cost is, well, effectively zero. This means an operator can sell the electricity for 22 cents, undercutting diesel by over 40%, while still generating massive profits. The customer saves a ton of money, and the investor sees a huge return. It's a win-win.
And because there are no ongoing fuel costs, the return on investment is just incredibly fast. The average payback period is only 12 to 15 months, and it can be as low as 8 months in really high-cost energy markets. After that point, the revenue you're generating is almost entirely profit. But this is about more than just the economics. The system offers some major strategic advantages, especially for defense and remote operations, where being dependent on fuel is a critical liability.
Just consider the military implications for a second. Fuel supply lines are one of the most vulnerable parts of any modern operation. They require armed convoys and create constant risk.
Well, Martech eliminates that risk completely. Once the modular unit is installed in just 3 to 5 days, it needs no more logistical support for fuel. It gives you complete operational energy independence.
This lack of fuel dependency leads to another absolutely critical defense feature. This system is, for all practical purposes, invisible to key forms of surveillance.
Here's how. Traditional generators burn fuel, right? So they create immense heat that makes them glow like a beacon to thermal cameras. Martech uses magnetic bearings, which are nearly frictionless. No friction means virtually no heat. This absence of a heat signature gives it a natural thermal camouflage. And on top of that, it's super quiet, just 50 decibels. So you also get acoustic stealth.
So how does it connect to the grid? It's important to remember, Martech is a power plant, not a simple appliance. It generates power at 400 volts. To connect to a high-voltage grid, it needs standard components, a step-up transformer to raise the voltage, and a synchronization panel to match the grid's frequency. This is just standard procedure for any power generation facility.
The operational advantages are just as impressive as the strategic ones. Maintenance is only required once every 2 years, and the procedure takes just 2 hours. A 1 megawatt unit, which is a massive industrial machine, contains only 4 liters of oil, and because it's entirely air-cooled, it requires no water infrastructure. The operational expenditure is incredibly low.
This groundbreaking technology is delivered and supported by Terzion, with a global presence in key international hubs to manage projects all over the world.
So we've seen the technology, the independent proof, the financial case, and the strategic implications. The fact that a proven, profitable, and fuel-free energy source now exists is way more than just a technical curiosity. It's a potential paradigm shift. The question this leaves us with isn't if this changes things, but how it's going to reshape our energy future.